What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to another day in the Brew Lab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster in Chief. And today in the Brew Lab, I'm coming at you with a deck that I actually got the idea from, and I will be perfectly honest and admit this because I don't see any problem with it, from another fellow content creator, Matches Malone, Mr. Malone himself. Love the guy. I get inspired from him on a regular basis. But, you know, we do as we do, and we're not just going to blatantly copy the list exactly. I've always got to make it feel like it's my own. So I took some ideas. I took his shell and expanded upon it, changed it, tweaked it, made it a little bit more to my liking. And this is what I came up with. There's two versions here, and I think I'm still not entirely sure which of the two I like best. What I'd like to do is to get his list up and running here on the screen for you guys, and then show you the two that I've made and explain to you why it is that I've made those changes. And let's see which ends up playing best on the ladder. Everybody's down in platinum right now, so I'm not too worried about, you know, my rank, and we can just have a bit of fun and fiddle around. So this is the Malone, let's call it Malone version. It's a great idea. It's super duper aggressive. Like the problem with Elves, okay, one of the problems with Elves, what has it been? Well, most of all, at least from in my opinion, is that they're tiny. They're too small. You got all these little 1 and 2 1s and 1 1s and 1 2s and 2 2s. It's tough. You got to go really, really wide to get in there for the final kill. But then, from Midnight Hunt, we got this lovely new card, Unnatural Growth, which is rapidly becoming one of my favorite enchantments from the new set. It's so cool. The fact that at the beginning of each combat, it doubles the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn is ridiculous, because you can get much bigger blockers and much bigger attackers. It works all the time. And in a deck where you have a lot of weenies, little tiny creatures that don't do much damage, suddenly they just become, you know, serious threats. And it's not even too aggressively costed. I think the only real problem with this card is the fact that it costs 4 green mana. So it'll be very tough to play it outside of a mono green deck. But I've tried that in version 2, which I will show you in a second. The thing that I liked about Malone's list is that it's incredibly aggressive. It's all about just keeping the card advantage and attacking face as much as possible. But there's zero interaction, okay? Like we have Field of Ruin to get rid of some manlands, and there's Masked Vandal to get rid of the occasional artifact or enchantment. That is it. There's no fight spells. There's no removal of any sort. And then he, for some reason, and he even mentioned this in his video, put a couple of copies of Ren and 7 in there because he was like, well, I didn't know what else to put, so I just put a couple of copies of Ren and 7. And I guess a Reaching Treefolk token is nice in a deck that doesn't have much ways of handling Goldspan dragons and stuff. But I think if you've let the opponent get to the point where there's like a Goldspan seriously threatening your life total, then you've probably played the deck wrong. And so, cool. This is the Malone version. I liked it a lot. His video was incredible. He had some mad performance. But I did a little fiddling, and this is what I came up with in the Brew Lab. First of all, I tried a Golgari version, where what I did was, and if you guys want to go back and have a look at this deck, I think it was actually really, really good, and was underappreciated by my viewers and the people in at Either Hub. This was the original shell that I built for a deck that I called VORPAL Elves, and it was trying to use all the mana generated from Circle of the Dreams Druid to activate the VORPAL Sword. And, you know, it's that equipment from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms that says if a creature, no, if an opponent is dealt damage by a creature that is equipped with this equipment, and you've paid the 8 mana activation cost, that player loses the game. And we actually got it to go off once or twice, I think, in that video. So go and look back in my... What I'll do is I'll put a link in the description down below so you can go and have a look at that one, because it was actually a really cool deck. And I thought to myself, okay, let's take that shell and just take out the whole VORPAL sword thing and just put in our Unnatural Growth instead, and see how that works out. And this is what I came up with, and I think it's pretty sweet, to be honest, but it'll be interesting to see whether it holds up, because I had to make some, like, the fact that you're running black makes it much harder, of course, to cast Unnatural Growth. I also had to forego the Canopy Tactician, which is our elf lord, so I actually have gravitated away from this. If I'm going to be playing with Unnatural Growth, I think, as Malone discovered, that mono green is the way to go, and this is the one that I'm going to be recording gameplay footage of today. Aggro Elves. So all I did was pretty much copy his list, but I put in just a little bit more interaction. So instead of having the 2 copies of Ren and 7, which I think are kind of useless in the deck, I believe, what was the... and I think I just trimmed a few numbers of other things, and it allowed me space in the deck to run Snakeskin Veil and the Inscription of Abundance. And I think this makes a huge difference, because it is okay, so these are along the way, these are the problems that I had. I did want to run a snow-covered forest mana base so that I have access to Faceless Haven, because Faceless Haven is all creature types, and if we have Canopy Tactician in play, or multiple Canopy Tacticians in play, when you activate the Faceless Haven, it too gets the buffs from the Canopy Tactician. So I thought that was really cool. So I was like, okay, 20 snow-covered forests, 4 Faceless Havens, boom, let's go. And straight away, when you're running mono green and you've got the snow-covered forests, you're thinking Blizzard Brawl, Blizzard Brawl, Blizzard Brawl. But you're not going to be Blizzard Brawling much when your creatures are so tiny. But then I was like, okay, it's kind of my chain of thought. Okay, but they're not going to be that tiny because we've got Unnatural Growth in play. So maybe we can run Blizzard Brawl. But then I realized that they get big during combat. And of course, it does last until end of turn, the doubling of power and toughness that one obtains from having that Unnatural Growth on the battlefield. But okay, so you've got your creatures. Your opponent's got his blockers. Your creatures grow double the size, you attack. They block with whatever it is that they're blocking, and then, you know, it's the game, the turn ends. You go into your second main phase, and So we cannot Blizzard Brawl pre-combat to get rid of a blocker because they haven't yet obtained the doubling of power and toughness from Unnatural Growth. Sure, you can wait until post-combat and then Blizzard Brawl something with your bigger creature, but you want to be doing that type of fight effect pre-combat most of the time, or during combat many of the times. And that was my reasoning behind running Inscription of Abundance, because not only do we have a little bit of life gain, which is desperately needed in a list like this, but we can do the fight, target creature you control fights target creature you don't control at instant speed for 2 mana during combat when they've already grown in size from Unnatural Growth. So I thought that was a really cool new addition that deserved at least a 3 of in the deck. And then Snakeskin Veil, of course. This list starts to have a bit of trouble when Elvish Warmaster, you play it on turn 2, it just gets, Blood Chief's Thirst, or any of the other great removal that green or red can throw at this thing, because it's, or even just a a portable hole that white can throw at this thing. It's a very, very fragile little guy, this Elvish Warmaster, but it is very important for the deck because it is our elf token factory. And so we do need a way to make sure that it stays alive, and that's why I'm running 4 copies of Snakeskin Veil in the list. And the same can be said of Canopy Tactician. I think between the Elvish Warmaster and Canopy Tactician, the Snakeskin Veil is being saved in your hand to put on one of these two when it gets targeted. So I might even go as far as saying play the Warmaster on turn 3 so that you have mana open for the Snakeskin Veil. Also, the cool thing is if you do play it on turn 3 and you might follow it up with another play, I'm not sure what that would be, perhaps another Jaspera Sentinel. If you played a Jaspera Sentinel on turn 1, another one, you don't need to have mana open because you can tap the Summoning Sickness Elvish Warmaster with the Jaspera Sentinel to create 1 green mana and save it with Snakeskin Veil that way. But anyway, I'm rambling. This is the list I've come up with. The only question marks that I still have, and which is why I went down that whole tangent about the snow mana, is whether it would be better to not run Faceless Haven and just play Lair of the Hydra and Field of Ruin instead. Let's find out during the game. But we do have a 24 land base, which can probably be trimmed down a tad because of all the ramp that we have available. Canopy Tactician adds 3 green. Circle of Dream Druids adds a green for each creature you control, and we can sometimes have a gigantic board making use of this very undervalued and not played often instant card called Elven Ambush. This is great because Elvish Warmaster, whenever 1 or more other elves enter the battlefield under your control, you create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. This ability only triggers once each turn. So we want to be triggering that on every turn, on your turn and on the opponent's turn. And we have no way of doing that because there's no elves that have flash in standard right now. So we can cast an Elven Ambush during the opponent's turn when we, let's say, already have maybe got we play a turn 1 Jaspera, a turn 2 Elven Warmaster, a turn 3 Realmwalker. At that point, or a turn 3 Circle of the Dream Druid, don't forget Realmwalker is a shapeshifter, so it is an elf. At that point, we've got, because every time you place something on top of the Warmaster, you get a token, so at that point we would be having 4 creatures on the battlefield, all of them elves. During your opponent's step, during your opponent's turn, you can cast Elven Ambush at instant speed and create an additional 4 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. One of those coming onto the battlefield will trigger the Elvish Warmaster again, so you'll be getting another 5. You will be untapping on turn 5 with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures on the battlefield, at which point you hopefully either had already or top deck an Unnatural Growth on turn 5, play it, and you will be swinging in with 9 massive creatures. It usually ends the game. The opponent cannot possibly generate that much value that quickly unless it's maybe mono white, but even then, loving it so far. What else do I need to talk about? Well, the Masked Vandal, this could probably go up to a 3 of, and we can get rid of the Sculptor of Winter, but again, it was this decision that I had of whether I should be running Snow Mana or not. This is an Elf Rogue. You can untap target Snowland, so between the Jaspera Sentinel and the Sculptor, we can ramp into bigger plays really quickly. But the Masked Vandal is the only way we have of getting rid of the many pesky artifacts and enchantments in the format right now, so it might be a good idea to cut the Sculptor of Winter entirely and, you know, only run the Snowlands because of Faceless Haven, and you know, then we would gain 2 cards in the deck by trimming back Sculptor of Winter, and we can put in maybe one more Masked Vandal and perhaps one more of something else that I haven't yet thought of. But that'll be, you know, that's neither here nor there. We'll play some games and see how it performs, how the deck performs, how the brew performs, and then we'll make some adjustments along the way, as we often do. And the list that I will put in the video description and on either hub for you guys to download and copy and play and enjoy will be the most up-to-date version that I will have arrived at the end of this video. All right, so that's the deck. The strategy is pretty clear. Go incredibly wide, makes loads of elves, play Unnatural Growth, attack with big elves. Doesn't get much easier than that. We can, of course, play elves off the top of our deck with Realmwalker, which is really, really good. But I might even... Okay, wow, this is so tough. I don't know if I should do something like this. Have more 2-drops. Let's do that. Alright. Bam. We're also running 2 copies of Field of Ruin, because it's so good. In the format right now, you do need to be running some way to remove the many creature lands that are all over the place. And of late, CGB's, WinCon list, Azorius list, that I am starting to hate with a passion, is all over the place. And its main WinCon is the Hall of the Storm Giants. So if you can get rid of those, it's pretty game-changing. Also, by the way, I have finally, and I'm sorry it took me so long to do this, but, I am a self-admitted, streaming noob. I have only just started on this adventure with the new channel, and I'm learning as I go along, and I have asked on many occasions for your patience as I figure out some things. And one of those things that I need to figure out is how to make the quality of the audio that you guys are hearing better. And I think I've finally done so. I spent most of yesterday watching OBS tutorials and microphone setting tutorials and things on YouTube, and I would love to get your feedback in the comments down below. I think the quality of the sound should be much better at this point with the new settings. So please let me know. I noticed while listening to my own YouTube videos as replays, that you could hear the fans from my computer very loudly in the background, and I think with these new settings, all you should be hearing is my voice. So please let me know in the comments if this has improved the quality of the audio for you. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're almost at 200 subscribers. When I reach 200 subs, giveaway will be triggered. Mono green, doing mono green things. And to enter the giveaway, you need to go into the video description down below, scroll past the deck list. You will find a link that says, boom. Okay, now we can keep Snakeskin Veil up. You will find a link that says giveaway video information or giveaway information video. Click on that and it'll let you know everything that you need to do. Should we kill the troll? I don't think we kill the troll. Mono green is so good right now. This card is so good right now. So good. He's even gonna pump it bigger with a Inscription of Abundance. We've got a Snakeskin Veil though. but I think we're still pretty much dead. There's a brawl. You know, case in point. The guy's playing Snowlands, he's running Blizzard Brawl. This seems to be the like cookie cutter list from the interwebs. If he's got another one, we're dead. 6, 7, 8? No, we're not. Okay. Let's see what happens. Does he have 2 of them? No. We need to draw our own one, like, quickly. Otherwise, we are absolutely dead. Like... yeah, now all we need is Ren and 7, and I might just puke a little bit in my mouth. Oh, just moving my camera a tiny bit. There we go. I don't think we can block this, but we can give it a good old-fashioned try. We can, no, we can't. Declare blockers, then cast this. It's not going to change anything. I think we're dead. Well, I mean, if he wants to attack with the Seeker's Chariot, I think if he activates the Faceless Haven, we're dead. If he tries to go the Chariot route, then we can still kind of hold it back. Okay. Okay, wait a second. Might still be able to pull this one out of the bag. 3, 4 mana for the ambush. Attacks with everything, I hope. I mean, we're still screwed. I'm just trying to, you know, learn the deck a bit better as I play. Boom. Everything gets huge. Pass. Opponent swings. My chance to... yeah, I have to first cast this, okay? So, boom. Making 3 elf tokens, which will leave us with 5 blockers. I should have done that before the combat, then they would have been much bigger. That's unfortunate. Okay, so... that has to block there. This can block there, this can block here, this can block here, this can block here. We take 1 damage and kill a lot of his creatures. That's quite nice. That's not bad at all. We can't activate this anyway, so we might as well just do that. Passing the turn. Can you imagine if we can pull this one out of the bag? Woo! I really want my own copy of Inscription of Abundance to arrive in my hand. That would really change things. Sorry, bud. I don't think there's much attacking that you can be doing right now. That was a great you know, we're down to 2. It's going to be very hard to navigate our way out of this one, but we did sort of stabilize the field there. Okay. Pass the turn. He's going to make that troll again, which is bad news. Kind of. Got some very big elves here, thanks to Unnatural Growth. We can also... no, we can't. Another Haven. Where's our Warmaster when we need it? Yeah? Okay. He's trying to do a fight before my creatures double, but I do have Snakeskin Veil, plural, to combat that. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, buddy. Oh, come on, man. Another Snakeskin Veil. Okay, we're gonna go down to 3 copies at least. This is, there's 2, I'm just having too many of them. And this has happened a few games in a row now. Before I hit record. It's probably gonna be quite important. At some point. Kazandu. A wee little mammoth came to play. A wee little mammoth, innit? I haven't played a creature in too many turns. There we go, baby. Double Tactician. In the hizzle. We need to make our board bigger than his so that we can get the 1-turn kill. Otherwise, we are too low on life to ever actually, you know, swing. Because if he can ever kind of... And he's got 2 havens to activate. We can get rid of one of them next turn with our Field of Ruin here. Which is quite nice. And hopefully get a relevant elf out of the top of the deck. I don't know about the Sculptor. I think I'm going to get rid of the Sculptor. That's becoming my more and more obvious option. The sequencing is very tough. Like, I know he wants to fight me with perhaps another inscription, but he must be guessing that I have a veil in hand because I've used one already. Sure. I'm gonna kill your chariot though. You can't attack into this force, buddy. Not with Unnatural Growth. Tens. Now he's tapped one of his havens. This might be the window we were looking for. might be the window we were looking for. As there are only 10 creatures available for him to use. There's the freaking inscription, baby. Okay, let's pass the turn once more. I think we've got him. Next turn, with the inscription, we win. And we also can gain an obscene amount of life. These tacticians are really putting in the work, man. I think we're gonna win. Never give up. Never surrender. Yeah. 100% win rate with the deck so far. Okay, I mean, I'm like, why are you the one snoring when you're playing the same deck that everybody's been playing since Standard 2022? I should be the one snoring here. At least I'm trying something new, man. Some people can't take a loss. Alright, so adjustments. Already I can tell I probably don't want to be running this guy. So down 1 Veil, bye Sculptor, up 1 Masked Vandal. We can probably also drop a land, but the question is, what are we putting in instead? We could have the it's another 3-drop. It's this guy that people, you know, things come into play with more counters on them. Meh. Reach. This could be cool. Sneaky, like 2 of Varis. Get a little dungeoning going on. It's an elf. It's got ward. It's a 3/3. It's got reach. It can make wolves. That might actually be a really good idea. Alright, let's give that a whirl. I don't know about 4 Vandals though. So leaving it at 24 lands. You know what? I'm gonna go down 1 more forest. The forest or the Hydra? 18, huh? Sure. I want to play a copy of the Turntimber Symbiosis. Boom. Because it's card has mana value 3 or less. That's pretty much everything in the deck except for the... Yeah, I think I like that. 1 copy of Symbiosis as an MBFC. Misalaki. Let's give that a whirl. Edwin. My brother, my brother. Just recording a video quick. Be right there. There we go. There we go. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Oh no. Oh, God, I always confuse Snakeskin Veils for Jaspera Sentinels for some reason. The art looks similar. Okay, let's do a courtesy, as the CGB says, a courtesy tap of the Lair. I thought it said dildo. Dildos. Dilo 74. Is this a mirror match or is it another green guy with the usual werewolf pack leader? Yada yada yada. Okay. Sure thing, bro. Whatever you think is good. I think we go straight up into a... it's probably gonna use the mana to upgrade the Ranger class or Blizzard Brawl. I am so sick of this deck, man. Like, genuinely really, really sick and tired of playing this deck. He's probably got another Blizzard Brawl in hand. Luckily this has Ward. It's not going to help us much. What do you know? It's the exact same match we just had. Whoopee! Yeah, I'll keep that. And I'm gonna keep a Snakeskin Veil ready. Whew, okay. Stabilizing, just a touch. This is probably a really good addition. A little bit extra reach. Aside from the Sentinel, that can, you know, with Unnatural Growth, this will become a 6/6, which can block a gold spam, so that's pretty nice. Okay, so it's the Ren version. Whoopee! Massive tree folk guy. No, not that massive. Let's play this land.
Every seed contains.
Sorry, did you just put some of your most important cards in the bottom of your library? That's why I don't like this in this list. It just doesn't make much sense. Another Jaspera. It's kind of looking very similar to the last game. Afraid we're gonna have to take this damage. I don't like to do that, but also don't want to lose my That's just beautiful. That's just beautiful. Imagine having multiple copies of Unnatural Growth on the field. Such a good card. Effectively neutered the old Growth Troll and got rid of his class enchantment with the Masked Vandal. I mean, that's pretty much exactly what the deck's supposed to be doing. So it's a pity that we keep getting put down so low. Just the +1 on a Ren and 7 in this type of list is really not what you want to be doing with your life. I'm ready for you, buddy. Come at me. A little splash of venturing into dungeons has been pretty good so far. A little bit of added value. Okay, now we want a Vandal, like, big time. Sorry, not the Vandal. Ooh! Ooh. Double whammy. I think we can win next turn. We can win next turn. I think. Is this a big enough board? I believe so. One, two, three, four, five, six. 7. Give everything +2/+2, and then after they get doubled, and then we swing. Is that going to be enough? We also got a wolf here from completing the dungeon. It could be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 attackers. If we tap a Jaspera down. Or we get all the mana that we need from this guy. I'm gonna go for it. Oh, we can't activate the Haven. So let's make a big Hydra. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He knew it. He knew it was coming. Slamming through platinum so far with this list. Loving life. 42 minutes into the stream. I think we are narrowing in on a build, version of this beautiful Malone creation that suits my playstyle a little better and is getting very, very convincing wins on the ladder. This Varis in there is really, really mwah. It is legendary, so maybe just the 2 copies is fine, just the way it is. Yeah, let's play another game. Let's, it's tough to make a judgment call with such a small sample size. We play it out a few more rounds and see how it goes. I've just picked up a new atomizer. My last one was wonky and my son dropped it on the floor. So I got the exact same one. It's the Nautilus 3. This thing is gorgeous. And I got the black version instead. Mwah! Looks so sleek on my mod. Anything but another mono green pair up. Okay, mono white snow. Careful what you wish for. Clarion Spirit. Luminarch. The Aspirant. Bye-bye. Sigh. Bye bye, Canopy Tactician. You will be missed sorely. What a card. Elite Spellbinder, man. It's enough to drive one crazy. Fortunately, we have ourselves a wee bit of a blocker there, mate. Although it'll be a trade, which I'm not entirely willing to take. So I'll probably block with Jaspera if he does decide to attack. My two most hated cards back to back. Life is beautiful. How much do I hate these two cards is very difficult to express. It's a lot. Just wow. So busted. I specifically go out of my way not to play them in my mono white decks just because they're so obnoxious. Oh yay, mono white doing mono white things. I struggle to see how we're gonna get out of this one. First loss of the day incoming, but you know, never say never. I think we can pass, go for the block. Unfortunately, it's not a trade. And then cast. Another tactician. Oof. Here comes another Skyclave apparition, or probably, yep. Do this deck. It's so frustrating. It's really, really hard to play against. And you know, it's running away with us. Can just easily. Yeah, don't attack with that, I'll just kill it. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. First loss of the deck, 83% win rate. That's his life. Mono white doing mono white things. It's funny how it's such a best of one list. Like, I have a feeling no one at Worlds will be bringing mono white weenies in the best of three format. It'll be interesting to see. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that tournament since the beginning of the year. I knew it would happen post-rotation with the whole new standard format. They've only had 3 weeks to play test. And, you know, the best minds that Magic has to offer is are going to be bringing the heat. I just love to have an opening hand with the Warmaster. There we go. There we go. Okay, this is the CGB deck. It's just a ridiculous amount of freaking sweepers and divide by 0 and all of that jazz. Draws a card. The new... This is basically the new... what was that card called? The Saga. Oh my goodness. Cannot remember for the life of me what the name of that card. Made a 4/4 wall. So it coming... No? That is really surprising. Must be a Doomscar, which is just as bad, but hey, what can we do? Behold the multiverse. It's Nico Aris. Countless worlds unfolded before Nico. Everyone in the need of heroes. Doomscar. Whoopee! I'm betting he really wants... Okay, no, this might not be what I initially thought it was. Humans? I'm gonna have to play around counter spells and sweepers for the rest of the game. So, you know, it's foretelling everything in his deck. And I'm just top decking lands from now until the end of time. Maybe angels? I really am confused. What's he discarding? Some kind of weird flashback list? Sure, foretell everything in your deck. I've got a Veil if he's... Actually, no, he can't. He only foretell ones say target tapped creature. The Haven never taps, so we might still be able to pull this one out of the bag. I don't think I need to hold up mana for a blocker, because there's nothing... Oh, I was going to play a Jaspera. Why did it pass the turn? I hadn't pressed that. Okay, sure. Another ambitious farmhand. I really would love to know what it is that this guy's trying to do. Fourth ambitious farmhand of the game? Sure. Yeah, sure. He's like itching to use those counter spells, but he's like, nah, probably shouldn't use it on a Jaspera. A measly Jaspera. Now we gotta get through another 2 chump blockers. Orzhov, Azorius humans? Attempting some sort of a covenant thing in white and blue? Sorry, coven, not covenant. It's not revealing much from his discards. Professor of Symbology. Okay, so he's gonna go get like a mascot exhibition. No? He's got the way to kill our field. I mean our Faceless Haven, unfortunately. I'm hoping he's planning to do it during our attack phase, in which case we can use the Faceless Haven to... Please don't do it now. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, I made a mistake. I could have double activated the Haven. Oh, that was a huge misplay. Terrible misplay. What a mistake. Now he's gonna get the exhibition. What a shit list. I'm so bored of it already. Now he's gonna counter. No. Well, you got another sweeper. Whoopee! Just no win cons in the main deck. Only a bunch of saw it coming. Test of talents. Fun seed. Oh, buddy. Ah, well. These things happen. Azorius Control rearing its ugly head from the meta once more. Okay, we got time for one more game. Let me try the Golgari variant. For science. A little bit more removal. A tribal sweeper in there in the form of crippling fear. You know, ways to bring our guys back from the graveyard post board wipe. Might be actually the way to go. We should still be able to safely cast Unnatural Growth with Circle of the Dream Druids and all the other mana fixing that we have. I always just feel better playing a deck that runs some removal. Green's removal as fight spells always just leaves me feeling a little naked. Underprotected. Okay. Dimir zombies detected. Just ridiculous. Thank God we did that. We need the third. We need another black, like now, off the top of the deck, like right now. Come on, deck. Don't let me down. I need that one more black, like now. Or we have lost this one. We get to draw once more. We lose a life. It's getting dangerously low. 3 lands in the top 15 of your library. Of course. Happens to everybody, you know? Ridiculous. Get beaten by zombies is just the worst thing that can possibly happen, you know? Man, we're dead. Yeah, that was too bad of a match for me to just stop recording on that type of a game. I need to get at least one more decent victory before I call it quits. Let's jump into that deck again and see if there's any quick adjustments I can make. I'm gonna do this. Put in the Canopy Tactician. How many lands? 22 plus 1, 23 lands. Come on. One win for Daddy. If we just top deck a black source in that game, it would have been completely different. I feel like we would have definitely won. I think the problem there was that we shuffled through our library with the Lord of Skemfar or whatever his name is. Okay. That's a keeper. Mono black control. PT. Sure. That feels nice. Probably got some instant speed removal. Let's find out. You just need to hope there's not a crippling fear on the opponent's side of the field. And that's gonna be the game. Disgusting. Disgusting card. Ruining my life since day one. Unless you're playing it, of course. Are you supposed to kick that thing? This list is only sitting on 20% win rate, so I think it's quite clear which of the two is better. I've played over 10 games with both of them. I think it's time for some delete skis. So we can't keep another streamer's deck on our deck list. Last game, and then we're gonna call it the day. That's a mulligan. Just one opening hand today where I have, there we go, the Warmaster and the Jaspera in the same hand. Simic. Sultai. Don't attack. Otherwise we can't protect. Perfect top deck. One Innkeeper. Could just be Golgari. Yeah, I'll take another land. Taking 5. Yeah, the mono green variant is feeling a lot better, and I'm really happy about the last minute adjustment with Varis. I can't help but think about the Varis from Game of Thrones. Scoot Swarm. How puke worthy. Down to 3. I think we got him. We can protect the important creature. Yeah! So 75% win rate in 15 games or so with the deck. Mono green is the better version, clearly, from playtesting. That's going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. It means the world to me, especially those of you who stick around to the end. Don't forget to like the video. Of course, I love to hear your comments. How would you have built the deck? What adjustments could I have made that might have made the deck better that I missed? You know, misplays that I might have made. I always like to hear about those, even though other content creators aren't so happy about hearing about their misplays. I love to hear about that because it helps me get better. Also, don't forget about the giveaway. The link is in the video description down below. I will see you all tomorrow. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab signing out. Peace, y'all.